Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Onord.
And this is Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today from the gingerbread map of Orsha East, Rang, who do we have and what do they bring into the fray?
Left hand side in blue, we have Zogu the First playing Finnish Panjari Division Honor with Maverick Income. Right hand side in red, we have Onord playing 126 Mountain Infantry. And right off the bat, we're seeing a very early and cheesy bomb and run, yeah. Only going to be unloading 2 infantry and kill and run. Actually, unloading 4. So, that's... holy crap, that really did slow down our entire push. And yeah. Onord is going to be able to get into that forest with that rather sneaky beaky play. But that is a lot of points investments in getting those 2 planes out, to be fair. And the rest of his side is pretty light, especially in tanks. It's just light tanks, quite literally.
But so is it over here for, Zogu. Like, Zogu's not going to be known for having crazy rushes. Like, he's got a couple of skirmishes later on. He's got the whole, the P-Force and all that. But for the most part, this is not going to be a heavy tank fight.
No, it's definitely going to be a little bit more of a makeshift brawl as we have whatever the Finns manage to steal from the Russians and whatever the Russians manage to get from their Commissar in terms of tank fights. But both divisions have pretty damn good infantry. And yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I mean, up north we are seeing the Akaris making pretty decent progress with the T-26 and T-28, providing an adequate amount of fire support, as is this too. Actually getting killed here. They still have the 45mm, which can prove to be a threat, but he's getting pinned down pretty quickly.
But in the middle part of the map here, let's not forget the fact that the attempted Finn rush up that hillside did not go well.
Yeah, it's getting absolutely finished before it could even start.
I feel that was a word pun. And while I want to be angry, the inner eventual dad joke in me is just that I appreciate it.
I'm just getting you warmed up.
I'm searching to see if there's other puns there. I'll just let this alone for now, though.
No.
It's okay. Okay. Shoot. All right.
I'm finished.
Prepare
He's gonna kill me after this cast, just let you know, guys. There's no more videos after this.
P40 the north, he does go and stop that entire push, but it's a 13-11 as opposed to a 16-8 that it was just a couple of minutes ago. So there is the potential to see some, maybe rallying of the Finns. Then they might find a way to kind of, just keep swimming here.
Yeah, I mean, the Finnish Panzer division is definitely gonna have a little bit more Panzers compared to 126, and really a problem with 126 is just a lack of anti-tank in general. He's going to have to be extremely reliant on his air power to really, keep up his front line. And he has a lot of airplanes, a lot of those P-40s, and Hurricanes too, so we're going to have to really see him take advantage of that.
Exactly, and since folks, anybody on the east coast of the U.S. knows already what a hurricane can do. I speak that from personal experience, as I almost got stuck in my, apartment for 2 days after the most recent flooding, but that's a complaint for a different time. Good times. It was kind of like the Oregon Trail when I, went outside. It was like, do I want to ford my car through the river, or do I want to caulk it and float it? It was a very, very interesting experience.
At least you didn't get dynasty. Or
that's true.
Dynasty, how do you bloody say it?
Dysentery, yes.
Dysentery, there we go. Yeah, that's the right combination of vowels.
English is a ready language.
Yes.
But DP Grupa's up here in the north, and a DP Grupa for me always feels like it should be like an orc unit. Like these guys should be having choppas or something. But right now they're getting choppa to pieces. As the T-26, the T-28, T-28 gets engaged by the BT-7 and gets pwned completely. It might even happen again to the T-26C.
It's a really awesome A-phase tank fight. We're just seeing this crappy Soviet light tanks just fight each other in a literal civil war. I mean, in B phase we're gonna have like T-34s and M3 Lees. It's just all over the bleeding place. But I think we're gonna see another capitulation up north, back over the Onord side, and it's really been like flipping back and forth for like the first 5 minutes. This northern side.
It has been, but there's been a really, really strange surrenders and otherwise. More Jakar is being put on, and BT-7 is still engaging. He's going to go down swinging here, but he is going to go down.
Yeah. God damn, this light tank fight is extremely pathetic. The T-26 getting the kill, probably because he was a leader. He'd lead by example, and yeah, it seems like Zogu is going to be able to hold on to that northern forest for the time being.
Now, down to the south, it was a potential... Yeah, now it's back to a 12-12. A couple of Maxim guns are guarding a lot of approaches. And especially this one to the southern side of that thorax of the gingerbread man. But a couple more DP group was being brought on and going to go and have, basically allow things to stabilize quite a fair bit.
Yup, and we are seeing Zogu actually build up a bit of a tank force, more T-26s, some Shotker 76s. I do love the Finnish nicknames for their tanks, they're just bloody hilarious. And some more T-28s, and especially if you just look at, you know, the hill, there's not a whole lot here. It's not even really any anti-tank rifles, it's anti-tank grenades. And especially against Finns in A phase, having anti-tank rifles is a very good idea.
It is, but you know what's even better idea? P40's on approach. Yeah, I said P40's on approach. And timed perfectly, too. These BT-7s are going to come in just after these guys get hasted.
Beautiful bombing runs, yeah. And that's exactly what he needs to be doing. Also using the recon plane to great effect. Onord is going to have to win this from the skies, and if he can keep us up, he might be able to keep the Finns pinned down.
I confess I'm looking further to the south. Yeah, the 45 mil weird anti-tank gun. It's going to engage that DP Grupo. Chikari's should be a match for the DP Grupo. But we'll see more evidence of that in just a moment here. And the TIE fighters over here, the T. Dustelu, who I'm most assuredly butchering in terms of her name, also surprisingly good from range. I don't see these guys very often. I feel like we don't talk about them very much from the Finns.
Oh, which infantry, sorry? Oh,
the recons.
Oh, yeah, it was... Oh, these guys, yeah. They're, like, pretty decent for form. It's kind of like a German spar troop in a way, but with a worse machine gun. A really bad machine gun, but...
But a little bit more beefiness, I feel like. Anyway.
The smoke.
Yes.
Smoke's actually pretty clutch, but yeah, they're just... Yeah.
The lads are like, oh my gosh. I love seeing the Finns, because the Finns is just like, oh, you played this Where's Waldo of countries. Like, what country is that from?
Sweden. Yeah, Swedish,
Exactly.
you have Swedish Russian tanks, German tanks. It's all over the bloody place. I'm very much... I do like seeing Finland being played a lot. I'm definitely biased towards Finland in this game. So if you want to replace casted guys, if it includes a Finnish division, then you have a much higher chance.
Otherwise, you might be finished.
Yep.
Yep.
And also the pun factor is just off the charts.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's too easy. I think we could probably get put in jail of how easy it is just to do the Finn punch.
Checking things out otherwise. So with that Maxim dying, actually the southern side of this body opens up quite considerably. Not going to get the 1311 in favor of Zogu over Onord.
Oh.
But he definitely could have gotten it if he wanted it to.
Yes. But yeah, we're just seeing like this massive tank force being built up on this town. Or just down the hill. He's going to be bringing in a bit more infantry, and I think once he gets the infantry out, he should try and make out posts. I mean, he has 3 bloody Maxim guns, like, very much holed up in that forest area, to definitely help out in just machine gun firepower.
The hills are alive with the sound of Maxims. Now, Gorno DP is being sent into the south, and let's be fair here, these kind of mountain troops are decent. But the big problem is they don't have any anti-tank.
Yes, like, he really does need some anti-tank rifles. And this is the massive problem with 126 is you really lack anti-tank. It's probably one of the worst divisions in game. I don't know, actually. It's definitely up here in terms of worst anti-tank. I feel like he's already used a lot of his 45 mils and ZIS-2s in A phase. I mean, in B phase he has some more ZIS-2s, but, you know, it's really... I mean, I guess there's the KVs and C phase and some of the Lees, but even then it's not the best. Still, actually thinking about it, M3 Lees against Finland actually proved to be pretty good, just with all the light tank spam. The 37mm gun on top actually has some rough roll targets.
Folks, after that monologue conversation back and forth between their voices and Rang's head,
Wait, you're still here, Khan?
I
Oh,
was,
god
I was,
damn
I
it.
was, I was taking a quick nap, man. I was
Oh,
power nap.
okay.
It was a 40 winks moment here. Um, we do have 76 twos that are trying to find, and for the moment, only moderately successful in pushing that Landsberg anti-2. A little bit closer to the front, and I like seeing that. I do. But we are seeing at long last that push that you were expecting. We aren't seeing the Maximus push forward very much. There we go. And I think this is that counterpunch that they need to be a little bit concerned about, especially as the Gladiator 2 comes in. This is actually, that's a British plane, isn't it?
Yeah,
Gladiator?
it's
World War One.
a road. It's into war. Yeah, the Finns were just kind of, oh, you're sending us some planes, or we brought some planes. Cool. It's very all over the place, which is what I do love about this division in general.
Now, the biggest thing they have to worry about here are these two Zis's, well, at 45 mil, and the Zis 2 on the outskirts of the eastern side of this town. But currently, Onord doesn't have anything in the center, which is a little confusing considering how much infantry he potentially had over here in Phase A.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely been investing in a lot of aircraft, which he needs to do, but it definitely does leave you a little bit exposed. And we are seeing 109 going after the Hurricane, not doing too great.
And a Brewster. Oh my gosh, a Brewster Buffalo.
Yeah. Look at the classic Finnish fighter. Terrible in the Pacific, but hey, the Finns got it to work.
Now, gotta be some more kind of just this Hurricane, this other Hurricane coming in here is just gonna do a ton of work. I feel like, unless they can draw them back over the Landsberg. I think we'll return our attention as the Zis-2s and the 45 mils are going to try to go and take out a couple of these offending Slotkas, the T-26s, the T-28s. A lot of targets here. And so far, so good.
Yeah, it was just guns. I see you managed to get a few good kills, but the problem is there's a lot of tanks, and I feel like he's just going to be able to outnumber those just guns and just throw enough tanks in there to eventually kill them. We're still seeing a bit of that furball up north of the Brewster. The Finnish fighter ace did get shot down, however, but the Brewster is trying his best to return the favor.
I think he's going to do it, too, because I think the Hurricane doesn't have the right amount of agility. I think the Brewster is quite that. Oof,
Yeah, Brewster
wow.
has better agility. Also, the veterancy be much better.
Well, P-40s in the meantime have been kind of called in to kind of drop their loads. They don't want to lose this Hurricane, and I can't say that I blame them. I feel like this is a very potentially powerful piece of equipment. But while they're doing that, the Gornostroki's up to the north, completely on their own.
Yeah,
With
they do.
lots of Maxims. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're doing their best to hold, but even just the light T-26 and Maxim fire support is enough to just outgun them. I mean, the Yakari infantry aren't the best at long range, really only semi-auto rifles, but with the fire support it will be enough.
Landsberg continued to chatter. Brewster is heavily damaged. And indeed, geez, that Zis truck, yeah. But he did what he needed to do, which was keep things at arm's length. Don't let those fighter bombers get aggressive. Which is something that we definitely saw get hammered home pretty successfully over here on Wednesday.
Indeed, that was an overwhelming amount of firepower. And we are seeing Onord trying to do the same thing. He does have 76mm field guns, which I'd say are pretty decent because they do have that radio support. But Zogu has a lot of infantry and mainly a lot of armor. And yeah, I feel like Onord is just having a hard time dealing with just even the lightest of this Finnish armor.
Well, I kind of like this too. He's using the Maxims over here as just suppressive platforms, which is exactly how you're supposed to use a lot of machine guns. But the anti-tank guns reveal themselves. They get just shelled and shelled and shelled, and that's that.
Yeah, and then rock, paper, Maxim, the Maxim beats the anti-tank gun.
That's true, but you know what beats out anti-tank gun?
Airplane?
I would say General Lee riding to the front in his tank. Now, to be fair, there's still a Sotka here. There was a Sotka here.
Where'd it go?
I misplaced it. We put it in my other pants. Where the heck did he go?
That's a big
like
pants.
Yo, man, it's the big and tall story. What can I say?
Is it like parachute pants?
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. To the north, though, as you know, this devastating knife fight continues. One side seizes the heights, then the other side seizes the forest, and Down south, yeah, there's definitely been some bombing runs, but nowhere near the same level of just death and destruction as there's been in any other part of this map.
Yeah, it's really just all coming down to the central and northern positions. We're seeing Gorna Strengthly's being chucked into the forest, but at CQC, I mean, Ozukari's work really well. The Finns do like being close quarters with their Molotovs.
It certainly does seem to be the case, and there's not a lot of actually, and there's no officers up here either.
No.
Curious decisions.
Yeah, we're just still seeing a class of armor in the central position. The M3 Lee's actually coming in pretty clutch, killing most of the Finnish armor here. We're seeing more T-26s, there's a whole heap of Yakaris and Maxim guns being brought in to solidify the advantage.
And actually, I like these P-40s being brought on in as well. Yes, the bombs are going to get off, and we can the Landsberg though, and the 40 mils keep things more or less kind of at least where they are right now. A status quo for Finns, I feel like is a really, really good place to be.
Yeah, that was a very good bombing run though, because that's pretty much going to give Onord back this northern forest and flipping it back to a Trove. But he needs to really try and get a better foothold back onto Central Hill. Which he does have the possibility to. If he can get some more infantry and use his M3 Leads effectively, he can push back Zogu's forces pretty easily.
You know, one thing to mention though is we start that Zist truck is actually almost out of ammunition.
Oh wow. He doesn't know it's a Mosano, but still, he's been pretty engaged, mainly at aircraft, because, well, he's an anti-aircraft gun. Shocker, I know.
And just when you thought it was safe to go back in the forest as Onord, here comes another 5 tanks. Enjoy.
Oh no, see, he's gonna bring like 4 T-26s, and then the Panzer IVs, and they'll try and blend in.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like in the northern side, this 40 Mike is going to get taken out by the Lee. But he still can't be ignored, which I kind of like this. I like knowing that my anti-air gun is strong enough that it can kind of be a nice little stopgap measure.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not a Hungarian run, so it doesn't have any armor penetration showers, but... Oh, here's a cluster bomber. Probably the most attention an M3 Lee has ever shown an SD2 can cluster bomb to death.
Ooh. And I mean, and the Ju-87 got him.
Yeah.
He paid, but he got him.
I don't think it's a well-throw trade. Well, I mean, he got him, and there's not many tanks, so there's still opportunity trade.
Ooh, there's going to be a rather big boom happening over here in the central part of the map. Kind of like it, at the same time a little bit nervous, because I don't see any way for it to be really developed after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the M3 Lees and a few infantry, but... I mean, that's going to stop Zogu's attack, which is happening right now.
Yes, it will. And one thing I didn't quite appreciate is that if there's any kind of barrage over here that hits that street will kill something. So far, 2 tanks, 3 tanks are down. Yeah, that went a lot better than I thought it was going to. I did not expect a single squad of Gornoshvilki to be able to kind of push this back.
Yes.
Actually, I'm a little bit offended by this, but them's the breaks.
This is a pretty even match. I mean, it's a Trove. It still feels like this could be anyone's game. I mean, Onord is actually making good progress in the center. We're seeing quite a lot of airplanes, and also lots of airplanes that's being shot down in general.
I do want to see down to the south there's a bit of any kind of true action being utilized here. Just the BAFC. This is the BA-10, isn't it?
It's a BA-10.
Yeah.
They just had a weird name for it for some reason. They're Finns. You can't be too judgmental.
That's true. That's true. If my championship sport was skiing and like drive by ski, I imagine I'd feel much the same way.
And F1 racing. They're pretty good at that.
That's true. That is very true. But Maxim's going to go push back the Kavari. Not too surprising there. And I think that Onord has been able to last most of the shove that was happening his direction. I'm trying to think about how this can be redeveloped.
Yeah,
side. Yes, sir.
I feel like for the Finns.
Yes.
Yeah, it's looking a bit dire now. I mean, up north he's doing another big push of infantry and T-26s. I feel like in terms of long game, like Zogu should definitely be having an advantage just with all the armor assets. if he does have available. I mean, actually, Onord does have the Sea-Phase KV-1s, which will come pretty
Yeah,
clutch.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but not a whole lot of anti-tank guns. But same thing with Zogu, but yeah, it's still a 12-12, and things are pretty even, but Onord is gonna flip it to a 13 in the center. I feel like, yeah, Onord just has that momentum in that center to really get that nice point advantage, and we're seeing a whole heap of leads up north.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was just going to make a call out, and a KV-85 behind it, so nothing to sneeze at there. And while the Finns, like you said, their infantry is certainly skilled, I'm not sure they can stand up the firepower of that magnitude, and that's the biggest issue here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and also the Gorn Strackley are very skilled as well. Nord has a lovely, lovely infantry tab available to him.
Sure.
And then, like, those 11 man's Gorn Strackleys with like SMG spam, SVTs, good machine guns, they are not something to be trifled with.
No, sir.
Oh, we're also seeing another Yakari push coming into the center here.
Well, I feel like, in the words of Napoleon, they came in the old way, and we sent them off in the old way. No, but seriously, look at that. We have Gordon Strokey's being thrown right back into like these rough kind of fighting positions, and the entire point of this defensive position is make sure you can reach out 500 meters, touch the crest of the hill, and that's all you need to worry about.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no need to aggress anything past that. You hold the flag. You're not going to get down the other hillside.
And it's in a very good position. Those Gorn Strackleys can just pin them down with machine gun fire and rather pretty beefy infantry if they're not running into Pack 38. That's a bit detrimental to one's health.
And yet somehow they're still alive. There we go. And Pack 38, he doesn't do very well against that either.
Nope.
Chikari to the north, he's going to go down. I almost guarantee that Kavari, he'll pop out, but still, you like an awful lot of time that he does not have.
Yeah, no, it's not. And up north, I mean, the forest is completely under Onord's control, and that's going to be a GG. Zogu tapping out after 22 minutes.
Yeah, no, I know that sounds a little bit weird. If you look at the KD, yeah, 1500, so a little bit rough there, but Zogu at that point had lost all momentum.
Yeah, it didn't feel... I honestly thought Zogu was going to have the higher KD, yeah, but... Yeah, I mean, he did lose a lot of those tanks. And he was... It's just like a push in the center, like halfway through the match, was like a really bloody good push, but Onord traded really efficiently, and I think it's because of those airplanes.
Exactly. Well, and when you have a ZIS-2 that takes out 4 tanks, by the way, too. I mean, and 2 of them are basically the T-34-76s, T-26 and T-28. Like, yeah, those are kills that you can't really compete against.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't the scariest tanks, of course, but in the Finnish Panzer Division, they're rather valuable tanks. Even just the T-34-76s, they just had to make do with what they got. But yeah, the Gorno's actually trading really effectively. The ZIS guns are in pretty decent. Like, these are some very good kill lists over all here from the 126.
Well, the funny thing, too, is you look at the chronology really overall. Early on, they're trading pretty effectively, and then right about 10 minutes or so, it starts really going into the Soviets' favor. Yes, we're seeing a Gornostroki being taken out at P-40, and maybe a Lee, but for the most part, it's an awful blue situation, and yeah, unfortunately, Emperor Zogu over there was not able to turn it back around.
Yeah, just very good use of air power overall there from our friend Onord.
Exactly. Any final thoughts, sir?
No, just awesome replay, and if you guys have replays with Finns, let us know.
Indeed,
Not
folks.
biased.
Exactly. But folks, in that in mind, then we are gonna call it quits for this week. Until next week, I'm Onord.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.